your house, house, house. In your house, 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 house. In your house, house, house. In your house, 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 house.
Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We as them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Poppers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke. What is up, guys? What is cracking? It's the Con Man, and I'm in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we're here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And guys, it is Thursday, and you know what that means. That means it's time for the Dynamite, yeah, review show with myself and my guys over here. And another Dynamite in the books, and I got a lot of thoughts about this one. I've been marinating on it all day, so we're going to get into it here in about a second. But before we do, I got to make sure I bring my guys on. And of course, this guy over here, he does his thing over there on Gonzo Sports Room, Gonzo Wrestling Room. He's the OG of professional wrestling. That's Tony Gonzalez. What is up, man?
Oh man, doing pretty good. I had a little bit of a WrestleMania hangover, but I wasn't. I really wasn't looking forward to seeing Dynamite, but I was kind of tuckered out a little bit. But it did pretty well. So it was an easy watch. So pretty good show.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think everything you're saying is fair, OG. After so many days of just straight up wrestling overload, whether it been SmackDown, whether it have been WrestleMania Night 1, WrestleMania Night 2, Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, and then even NXT after that, I can understand where it's like, hey, AEW's really got to step up to the plate because a lot of people are going to be wrestled out after that. I mean, us here at In Your House, we did like 4 shows over the course of like 3 days. I mean, we did a Friday show, we did the Saturday stream, we did the Sunday house party, and then we did the Sunday night stream, which it was a blast, but it was a lot of coverage. And of course, we all know that it's WrestleMania weekend. So yeah, it was easy to come into this thing thinking, I don't know, AEW, they're really going to have to do some things. I got to tell you, I came out of this AEW really enjoying myself. Once again, we're going to get into it here in about a second, but I got to bring on my brother over here. On Wednesdays, he's the educator of Extreme, but every day, he's the voice. Josh Joseph, what is up, brother man?
How goes it, house? How goes it, household? Tony and your nurses, how you doing? It's another recap, and I'm here for it. I will say, after hour number 1 of this, our next hour, we will be officially on this platform at 230 hours recorded time of In Your House material.
Wow.
Since we've started on this platform.
That's insane.
Yeah. And we have infinity to go.
Yes, keep on going, man, forever and ever. I love it, man. So, all right, let's keep that going because we're gonna keep rolling and keep going. And that's talking a little bit of professional wrestling and most specifically AEW Dynamite. Now, of course, we're gonna do our loves and lows on the second half of this episode, and but I gotta say this. I enjoyed this episode of AEW Dynamite quite a bit. We went nuts last week if you joined us about the news and the shocker that they made that they did with AEW and Darby Allin becoming the AEW champion. And we had a really open conversation about it last week. It was actually a really good episode if you guys check it out. And this is like we're going to give the Darby Allin title run an open platform to see where it goes and what it does for us and how we receive it. I believe it was Fightins. I think it was Fightins in the chat that was like, "Hey, let's give it an honest try." Oh, we have got the construction worker up in here. He's saying, ladies, we're hitting the chat real quick. We've got our man, the construction worker. We've got Bryce there, the young boy. He says, dynamite, dynamite, dynamite. Yeah. And listen, let's get back to this, though, because once again, enjoyable watch for me. I love the opening where we have MJF come out just pissed. I mean, this guy is pissed. It is just the opening that I needed to see on Dynamite after what happened last week. It was exactly what we needed to see. What I didn't think we were going to see though was Kevin Knight, the TNT champion. And you know what, voice? You know what, Tony? We have actually been like championing Kevin Knight on this show for a couple of months now. We think he's got a great look. We think that he can, I mean, he can do a lot better than running around with that tag team partner that he was running with. And listen, I don't know if they heard the noise or what, but they split him. We haven't seen that other guy on TV, and Kevin Knight is the TNT champion. So listen, the proof is in the pudding. But what Kevin Knight did was come out and proceeded to attempt to go toe for toe, tit for tat on the mic with MJF. And you got to be careful when you're doing that because this is MJF we're talking about. Now, when we were discussing this in our group chat for the AEW Dynamite show, I put in there as a note that Kevin Knight is passable on the microphone. I don't think that he was bad. I don't think that he was great. I think that he was passable. It was very basic stuff like, oh, I'm the Jet, and the Jet is so fly. The Jet's TNT champion. You screwed the Jet over. So it was he got to his points, but it was, I mean, and he said some things with some confidence, but it was very slow, very methodical, and it was very like cool guy, he's the cool guy, type pace. But I gotta say, like, for going toe to toe with MJF, something inside me, Tony, felt like MJF was kind of going easy on him because I really feel like that MJF, he's such a creative guy on the mic that he could have found something to completely eviscerate this guy, and I just think he took it easy on him, man. He was kind of playing with his food, OG.
Yeah, I agree. The promo was fine. It was a good first step. It was kind of generic, but
Yeah,
he hasn't had a lot of mic time, so you got to start somewhere.
yeah,
So I thought it was pretty good. I thought, like you said, I thought it was passable. Again, MJF could have destroyed him at any point if he wanted to,
yep.
but uh, guys, one thing that stood out to me, I thought Kevin did fine. Uh, did you like the fact that they made the match for next week, or did it bother you? Because it definitely seemed like they was going to do it this week, and they
Yeah.
didn't. And so, did that bother you guys at all? And then also, do you think this is the right move in your guys' minds to have MJF after losing that one title now challenging for a lower card title?
Ooh, I got some thoughts on that, but I'll lobby it to voice. What do you think, man?
Well, it's an MJF fashion to tease something so great and push it off to next week. Secondly, why would you bury Kevin Knight when he's been crippled by cowboy shit and fucking speedball fucking trailer park dude. So I give him some grace on this one, and I think MJF was too, because MJF, we all know, you put a mic in his hand and he's going to be able to bury anybody who has the other mic.
Yeah,
But why do that with Kevin Knight when there's such a natural homegrown aura about this kid?
I
I
love that.
mean, he grew out of a trios that had, and I still will never understand this, but it had Adam Page in it, and people like him. That's what I don't understand. But he is very popular amongst the AEW crowd. And honestly, in that trios, we talked about the Jet. We didn't talk about anybody else. We talked about how everybody else was bringing him down. So now that they've given him that platform, I say give him the grace. He deserves it. He puts on a hell of a match, and I honestly really think they hindered his start to the AEW fans with who they put him with. So and also to answer your last question, yeah, I kind of find it annoying that he's going to a lower card title, but he'll bring some attention to it. So you either gotta take the good and the bad together, because you can't cherry pick. That's not equality, Tony. So we got to take the good and the bad with it, and understand his good is probably going to outshine that bad. I'm going to get over it probably when they put the title on him and these younger guys are coming after him. So that's my 2 cents on it, Tone.
I think that MJF, he's doing a lot of things. He's moving in a lot of different directions right now. And I even read online, and you take that stuff with a grain of salt. But I read some reports that they're even planning his bookings through the summer. So MJF isn't going anywhere anytime soon. And honestly, the more stuff he's doing, I'm fine with it. Because MJF is good. If he just wants to be like, oh, you know what? And his reasoning, I loved his reasoning honestly in the promo, because he was like, I don't give a shit about the TNT Championship. I don't care. Like, I want the Triple B back. That's mine. But you know what? You got me interested, because the fact that you're so proud to be TNT champion is exactly the reason why I want to take it from you. I want to turn your pride into depression. Just it's like he's like, bro, I don't give a shit about the title. I just want to take it from you because I can.
Yeah.
Like, this is the
And
shit that MJF does, where he's a fucking dick and we love him for it every single week. Go ahead, voice.
well, yeah, exactly. So what's the dickest move you can do is hype this up and then turn away and say you got to wait till next week.
Yep.
Again, I think it plays well into his character, so it didn't bug me one bit. I mean, yeah, the fan in me wanted to see it because I didn't want to see the main event besides Tommaso, but we'll get to that when it gets to it. So I don't know. It worked. I mean, people are hyped about it. People are talking about it. It's the
I
name of the
like
game.
To answer the question, at first I was like, oh man, I can't believe, because I put in chat, I was like, oh, we're about to get it right now. And I was like, oh, we're not. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, we could have had that match right now. Or, you know what? They've already got two title matches now set up for next week. That's part of one of the things I was digging, is that, hey, now we've got things set up for next week, and we always got to set up for what's next. So for that aspect, I liked it. I did.
Okay, that's fair.
I like fighting's one here.
Titan says
Classic.
classic Flair move. Yeah, most definitely. But let's keep going here. Once again, I enjoyed MJF and everything that he brought to the table. I just like MJF, anything that he's doing. Hey, let's move on to Brody King. And this was a match that I put in the chat because it was another one that interested me because of the elevation of Brody King and how things are moving for him. But he had a match against somebody else who's elevating in a really unique way, and that's Black Heart Lio Rush. So now Lio Rush has now made his way to Dynamite after actually quite a few impressive outings on Collision and quite a few moments from his matches going viral. Now he's made it to Dynamite. A lot of people are getting behind this character. I'm behind this character. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. He matched up against Brody King. Brody King has been collecting a lot of wins, which is one thing I liked about this Dynamite is the fact that they were zeroing in on, oh well, uh, Brody King is 7-0 in his last 7 matches. Tommaso Ciampa is 6-1 in his last 7 matches. So now it makes sense why these guys are being talked about and making hints towards, hey, I want to be the next guy in line for the championship. I've got the wins behind me. That's what AEW was always supposed to be about from jump was that if you got the wins, if you have got the record on your side, you're fighting for the title. It doesn't matter. That was the story. Is that this was supposed to be kind of analytical. But I want to get some of your thoughts, voice. You're a guy who enjoys Brody King. Brody King has a match next week against champion Darby Allin. We can get to that in a little bit. Let's talk about him and Lio Rush. Your thoughts on that match?
Yeah, I mean, shockingly out there, fans, if you follow me, yeah, I'm a Brody King fan. I don't give a shit. I love what he does.
Yeah.
He's a great competitor. Yeah, and that's an aspect I like about AEW with the records that they show. They're doing fantastic work in that aspect. I mean, it does spoon feed you why they should be challenging for the titles and
Yeah.
things like that. They got Dynamite with Brody King, and they know it, so they're working it, and they should. He's a force that most people don't see. The look he has is phenomenal for wrestling. Um, I will say though, with Lio Rush, I like the gimmick. I like what he's doing. I just think the company needs to put more into it. Like I was saying with his entrance,
Yeah.
yeah, that thing is cool, but he's not playing a crypt keeper. So why put an organ behind him? Like there's energy behind that character. There's not sorrow. There's not like Raven. Of course, you put a dramatic feature behind him because
Yeah.
that's what about me? What about Raven? That's his catchphrase. Leo Rush is out there being menacing. Like he's
Chaos
wanting
talking to himself.
exactly like he's being erratic. So I think a higher energy type theme behind him when he's coming out. I suggested Firestarter from Prodigy. To me, his whole gimmick coming out, he could play off of that so well, and it would really hit for me. In the ring wise, though, they did great. I enjoyed this match.
Yeah, I thought the match was fun for sure. I'm enjoying the Leo Rush character quite a bit, but I'm also enjoying Brody King. And once again, this episode really did hit for me because there was a lot of things that I liked. The one thing that I liked was that they're like, oh well, a lot of people when they go up against Leo Rush, they don't really know how to take it. They don't know how to handle it. But you have somebody like Brody King who's more comfortable going up against somebody like the Leo Rush because he's somebody who's played in the darkness before. And I'm like, ooh, that's good shit. I'm sorry. You can't tell me that's not good shit, voice.
No, it is, and it really does. That idea right there helps everybody grow. It helps characters get over. It helps
Yeah.
um, already the guys who are over get more people. Just like Ripshot, I know you're helping us out.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's in our discussion that we have as a team.
Yes,
We are
we hear
getting
you.
around to it. Just you got to give us a week or two, and we will have that all taken care of.
Yep.
Um,
A lot of moving parts here.
much like I think with Leo Rush on Dynamite. Like
Yeah.
if you didn't enjoy this, give him a couple weeks on it. You're going
Yeah,
to
give him a
understand
chance,
it.
man.
Yeah, and the Brody King character, if you've given it a chance, give it more because I think they're investing in him.
Yeah. I Brody King is really becoming a thing to see organically because all he's got to do is bark once, and the whole crowd's like, "Whoo, whoo, 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 whoo,
Yeah.
whoo, whoo, whoo." Like it's not like he's like, "Whoo, whoo, whoo, whoo," and then the crowd's barking with him. He just goes like one single, "Whoo," and the crowd goes fucking nuts for that man. And I'm like, oh, we got one. Oh, we
Yeah.
got one right here. We got an organic, natural one right here. OG, what do you think, man, about Lio Rush and Brody King, the match, and then these two individually?
I thought the match was pretty good. I like Leo Rush. I agree with Josh. I think there's something missing. I don't know
Mhm,
what it is. I think
mhm.
again. I think he knows what the character should be. I don't know if the company does. So I don't know if they know what parts to add. So I'm a little worried about that. And also, I don't know where does he fit in on Dynamite.
Yeah,
Who's
that's
he going to
fair.
go? I think you got to find a feud for him.
Yeah,
Because I think he needs to be on TV. If he's not on TV, he's not going to get over. So I just don't know. I hope it works out for him because I like Leo, and it seems like that he has settled down, and I think he's ready to try to make it. I think he
yeah,
knows this could be one of his last chances to.
yes,
So I like Brody King. I wanted to ask you guys a question about Brody.
yeah.
I know he's going to take on Darby next week, and I've seen a lot of chatter online that a lot of people think Brody is going to turn on Darby. Do you think that's going to happen or could happen, or do you think that's a wise move?
Oh man, I don't know if you should because Brody is just so organically over as a face right now. Like I just said, one bark in the crowd is nuts. I don't know why you would kind of fuck that right now. Voice, what do you think?
I would. Brody can play in the darkness.
He can.
Brody,
He
he can
can.
bring those fans over to what he does. I mean, think about it. It took Rick Steiner barking multiple times to get people behind him. It takes Brody once.
One.
Uh, he's that captivating leader. He's that guy who I think his fans understand it's much like you guys said with Leo, it's a desperation time for Brody. Why
Yeah.
don't you have that title? Why hasn't it been around your waist? There's a lot of doubt in if can he do that? What does he have to do to go to that next level? Well, you got to destroy somebody that was beside your side at some point in time.
Man, I sometimes
It could
you
be a
know
hot feud. Sure.
I think this is crazy, but I don't even know how I'm trying to formulate this, but like Leo Rush, Leo Rush for some reason being a little guy that runs around Brody King, like just some weird little, like sidekick that hangs around with them. I don't know why. I think that would be good because they've both played in those darkness, but it would be something I think would be interesting. I don't know
It's the
why.
idea of the gimp.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like those
You
two
would
together.
send Leo out to do your dirty work.
Yeah.
Why not? He has no problem playing in the world.
And he's just and here's the thing with something like that because it seems like their spot right now is he's gonna have his chance to get on TV, but he's gonna eat pins. You just send him out there as like a sacrificial lamb. You're not gonna get. He might soften him up for you. He might soften him up for you, but you're sending him out there for the chance that he might do it. So I don't know. I like the idea of that, but I do agree with OG that man, if they're gonna go with this character, they gotta figure it out because Leo Rush and Brody King are in two different spots right now. You know, Brody King is looking at an AEW championship opportunity next week, and there's been many discussions in many circles about this guy becoming the next AEW champion, as opposed to somebody like Leo Rush, where it's like, hey, if he can't keep his behavior together, OG even said, hey, like he seems like he's matured, he's grown quite a bit, but if he for whatever reason he didn't, we don't even know how many more contracts this guy's got left in him. Like,
Let me before you go further, because I understand where you're at. We he's a question mark. But what is the visual of Tekla tapping her fingers on his head give you while he's sitting there talking?
could we put
And
can
then
we
she
put a leash
whispers
around
to him.
his neck? Could we put a leash around his neck?
Well, maybe not a leash, but I mean, I guess you Maybe like
I
one of
don't
those
mean I don't
harnesses.
mean in like I'm not going in like an offensive racial way. I'm in like a gimp
Oh,
type of
I know you're not,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
those other fans, like
I get it.
I
I
know where
get it.
you're going, and that visual is beautiful. But before we go further, you're being called out.
Oh God. Oh God. Who is it? Isn't Akeem again? It is. He says, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell Alikar Jones that him and his tribe are getting hunted. We gonna see about it. We gonna see May 9th.
Interesting.
May 9th. Heat
Interesting.
check. Be there. Emerge. Rip, I don't know what we talking about.
Well,
This brother's killing
Yeah,
me.
see, fighting's one. I understand where you're
He
at
said,
too.
I don't know. At least you might not go.
well,
Might not go over too well.
I
I,
love
I
that
was
chat, man. They're not
I,
wrong.
I was gonna say a chain, and then that's probably worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony,
So
jeez.
that's worse. What about would they get upset about dog collar?
A dog. Yeah. Come on. Like,
But we all know the visual we're trying to portray, and
Yes.
it is
It's
nothing
not.
of that.
It's
It's
Yeah.
more
nothing
of
like
the
that. Yeah. It's like
mistress and simp.
Yeah.
That
exactly. Exactly. Like
like
he's just like adulting. Insubordinate to her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
yeah. As of right now, it is House's rival. Yeah.
Yeah, yep, yeah. Oh my! Hit him with a video. Hit him with a video. Oh man!
Get in on this, construction worker. Let them know.
Sounds like you guys are just coming up with ideas to kill Lio Rush.
No, not at all.
No,
We're trying to make this visually pop for the fans. I don't know.
Rip is
Tekla,
not with this at all. He's like, "What the fuck are you guys talking about?" Rip shot doing that,
I could
man.
just see Tekla sitting there giving a promo and tapping her nails on his head.
Yeah,
And
man.
just him just
Yeah.
looking and just being excited as she whispers in his ear, and then he shoots off and has a match. He doesn't need to win. He could do some really good stuff.
Yeah, we're
Yo,
giving ideas.
can we get Rip shot to make that
we
whole
didn't-
conversation into a cartoon?
We didn't say they were good ideas.
Yeah, these are just ideas.
Yeah, we like what?
Yeah.
Who said these were good ideas? We're just having ideas. Yeah,
Construction worker said he met Lio Rush and he was really cool.
I've heard a lot of people who I know in different circles have met him and said he's really chill. We all go through difficult parts in our life. I think he went through that stuff, but at the end of the day, I think he's just a chill guy who's trying to, do something different. And, I'm vibing with it. He's taking chances.
what he's
And at
doing.
the end of the day, I like the fact that he's taking chances. I appreciate it.
Yeah, oh, go ahead,
Yeah.
Tony. Sorry.
I think the idea that might work, and see what you guys think. Put him up against somebody like Daniel Garcia, and have him pin Daniel Garcia, and get a win, and try to get the crowd behind him, and then maybe take on a couple of the other guys from that group and beat them. I think there would be something there. I mean, because Daniel Garcia is supposed to be such a great wrestler. He's a wrestler. So if Leo could beat him, uh, and be doing all the stuff with his character, I think he could. I think the crowd might get behind him.
Yeah. I even because Ripshot makes a really good point. How many wrestlers are going to want to lose to that gimmick? And I'd almost you guys might not like this idea out there in the household, but I would almost pull him back from TV a little bit and more have him doing more backstage segments, like more in like a Danhausen type role.
Well, speaking of Danhausen,
Oh,
construction worker, we love you to death, but he's one of our indie darlings who's made it to the top.
he says, I thanked him for having a cool, creepy gimmick and not one of those cheesy Dorkhausen gimmicks. You don't come on, man. You don't like the Munsters? You don't like Beetlejuice? That's what he's like.
I mean, we'll still support you and everything, but in a Danhausen fight, we go Danhausen. Yeah,
Listen, I love Lio Rush too, and I'm excited about what he's doing. But we do got to move on here. We got to keep moving forward because another thing I want to talk about, and we're gonna add all this stuff to our loves and lows too. So this is gonna be the last thing we talk about before we go to that break, and then we do the loves and lows. Um, Will Ospreay. This I'm in a spot where I'm like, what are we doing with Osprey right now? Because they carded like they had the entire Death Riders come and take him away, and first off, I will say this: I almost OG voice. I seriously almost blew my top at the end of that match. I was about to be so pissed because he had that. I'm talking about Mark Davis, and I got thoughts about Mark Davis. But that pile driver, that first pile driver, he hit him with it, and then he kicked out. Him being Osprey, and then that disgusting pile driver on the apron, and I was like, he better not beat that 10 count. They better not have him back in here running around, flying across the ring after that. Ain't no way I'm gonna get pissed off. I was happy with the ref stoppage. That was the good call, but I was almost about to lose my shit if I would have saw him full speed ahead running in a tope suicida at Mark Davis after getting killed on the apron. I would have came on here and I would have thrown shit on this podcast in the very beginning because that would have pissed me off. I want to get your thoughts before we go to break here, OG, about the Mark Davis Will Ospreay match.
It was a pretty good match. I mean, I love what Mark Davis is doing. Of course, Osprey's is a good wrestler. It just I'm not feeling the story, guys. It's just I know what they're going for. I mean, I understand. He come back from surgery. He's got a hurt neck and everything. But now it's been 3 or 4 matches in a row that they have to stop the match and look at his neck. And it's just kind of a little bit of overkill for me. Now I will say I was surprised. I don't know what to think of the ending where the Death Riders come out and carry him
And
away.
take him away,
That
yeah.
I thought that was kind of weird. I don't know. I don't know if it's good or bad. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see where they're going with this. But man, Mark Davis, they have something there, man. I think.
I'm
Dude,
telling
just
you.
just do something with him, man.
I'm
Uh,
telling you that dude. I'm saving it. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it. Voice, your thoughts on the match?
The match was it was a match. I like Mark Davis. I think he needs more competitors that suit his body type. I like when he goes up against smaller guys. First off, let me start this with I've never liked Will Ocean Spray. I call him Will Ocean Spray. I'll never call him his actual name because I'm not a fan of it, bruv. I don't like it. I don't think it. And honestly, you know what, Tony? What we seen, he's going to be a part of the Death Riders. Like this is where they're going because I mean I'm sorry, but the like Tony brought up the matches. This isn't the first, second. We're going into multiple matches with the same stoppage. Then you're not medically cleared. If that's the case, then you're not medically cleared. Or it's that's selling, bruv. I don't really give a shit, whatever it is. Just get them off my screen for a little bit. I don't need them with the Death Riders. The Death Riders have way too much shit as it is. I
No.
mean, come on. Khan was back there. Why isn't Mox on the TV?
Why is he not wrestling? He
Why is
needs
he
the
not
match.
there first? And but Mark Davis though, I love that dude, and I hope that they're seeing the crowd is really engaging and getting behind him. I think they are though because of this episode specifically. So that's where I'm at with them.
You know what? They were really talking him up on commentary. They were really saying, and I love, and you said something in the chat, voice. You said, I believe you said more Don Callis on commentary.
Yeah, yeah. I think. Well, I honestly think Don Callis. I like his gimmick. I've always liked what he does. Cyrus the Virus going into this Don Callis family. His character knows how to work. Listen, he was a part of a commentary team with one of the best to ever fucking do it, Joey fucking Styles. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Joey Styles worked as a single man doing two men's job for so many years, and he is the reason why a lot of those moments ring out in our brains when we see them. The oh my gods, anything that that man said at a high pitch volume is burnt into your brain if you were an ECW fan. Don Callis does the same stuff. Don Callis gives a legitimate voice to what is being said about the extras you need to add on into a match, in my opinion.
I like, the thing about it is right now, and I can say this with confidence because of the Paul Heyman fan that I am, and I'm watching Dynamite every week. Don Callis right now is on par with Heyman.
Yeah, he
He's
takes
on,
control.
yeah, he's on par with, and like the way he played up Mark Davis on commentary, he was like, Mark Davis has been one of the best, one of the top three wrestlers in AEW for the last few months, and I'm like, he's not fucking wrong.
Yeah. And Heyman used to do that with JR a lot. He would hype up the guys who weren't being hyped up as much, and he would tell you about their work and tell you why you should be watching them. Look, I keep calling him Cyrus because I just love that.
Yeah.
I loved that character, but Don Callis character, I think he could work well as the leader of the Don Callis family and on commentary. Heyman did it when he was leading the invasion.
Yeah, he did it.
It's possible to do it, and I think they should steal some of that and use him in that.
Don Callis is doing excellent work.
Someone else brought up the commentary team, and they
I
like
thought
to
I saw
knife
that
it.
comment. So one of us was rolling, and we got past that comment. But yes, most definitely. I thought
Fighting's one. Here
I
it
like
is.
Nigel McGuinness. They put my
He's
man
good.
Nigel on commentary. I like the move. So far, so good with Darby. Hell of a match, but he can't do that every week. I have thoughts on that, but yeah, Nigel McGuinness rolled well on commentary. It was the change that we needed. We got Danielson the hell out of there. Get that uninspired crap out of there. Let's go. We don't listen. A commentary team with Tony Schiavone and Danielson? No. We can't.
Yeah.
If we have to have one, we can't have both. We
I
cannot have both.
what podcast said this over a month ago about the commentary team?
That was us.
Yeah, I went
You.
on a fucking rant about it, and
It was
then
a
we all
whole
discussed
thing.
it.
It
Yeah,
was a whole thing. And we
they're
talked about it. And now
they're
here it
listening
is.
to the fans. They hear what we're doing. What, not us specifically, but they hear the fans and what they're saying.
But listen, bro, we are the fans.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Like, we are the fans. And people come to us, and sometimes companies from time to time, because, bro, and I'm not going to go on a whole tangent about this. Just if you know, you know. But if you don't think that companies are going and listening to different podcasts, whether it be bigger podcasts or even mid-level podcast, they're doing it because they're gauging reactions.
oh
They're
yeah.
seeing what people are talking about. They listen.
Dude, I learned from that in your mom's house podcast with Tom Segura and his
Hmm.
wife Christina Pajitsky. They just had Cody Rhodes on. Cody said specifically those wrestlers back there are watching videos. They're watching all these things. They're sharing them with each other, and then there's chances where they show the upper management,
Yep.
and
This is what
there's a
people were saying.
yeah. So, um, highly suggest anybody out there who's a fan of Cody Rhodes or you're just a fan of comedy, go watch that episode. It's excellent, excellent episode.
Yeah, I just wanted to get the point that people like us on our level still get listened to. Is it something that is happening all the time? No, but they make their rounds.
Yeah, yeah,
They
they
make
do.
they make their rounds. So so people like us doing what we do, coming from an analytical eye and not just a hate, 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 hate. They know the difference. They know the difference. I know if they already can tell that, oh, they don't know what they're talking about, they're gonna turn it off. If you're coming from a standpoint where, hey, there's stuff that I liked, but there's also stuff I think they can improve on, that's the ones they listen to. That's the ones they
Yeah.
listen to. That's where they look for the constructive criticism, not the hate and not the bashing and hate watching. They don't look. They as soon as they hear that stuff, they turn it off. I promise you, they do. So, all right, let's go ahead and hit this commercial break. Get ready to get this thing rolling because listen, we have got to jump into our loves and our loathes. And listen,
Yo
this was an episode of AEW where there was a lot that I loved, but the stuff that I didn't love, it was glaring. We'll talk about that and so much more. Hey guys, make sure to check out everything that we are doing because things are going to be jumbling around here for quite a couple of shows here, including our ECW watch along. We've got some new cool stuff coming at you guys. But listen, we're going to do our loves and lows on the other side of this break.
Hello everyone, it's the Pope Elijah Burke, founder and president of the Love Alive charity. I wanted to take this brief moment to share with you my charity's continued humanitarian efforts to positively impact the impoverished communities in and around the greater Jacksonville area. This cannot be possible without your support. If you'd be so kind, please take a moment to visit our website, love-alive.org, to learn more about the charity and its mission. Also, feel free to donate to our 501c3 organization that operates off of the donation of the public, which is you. Whether that be by website or via Cash App, $1 help makes a difference in the lives of others as we continue to positively influence many people by being the change that we wish to see in the world.
Welcome to the Brainbuster T-shirt website where your favorite podcast team in your house lives. Look at all these fantastic options you have.
If you want that sweet hype, we got it. You wanna be divinely designed at yours. Have you lost your voice? We have all that voice merch for you. Are you just a part of the household? We got that too. Brainbuster Tees is where our YH live. Brainbuster Tees is where our YH live.
Hey guys, it's the executive producer of the In Your House podcast, Alakan the Con Man House, here to tell you on this commercial break to like and subscribe to In Your House on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook at the In Your House Wrestling Podcast. Subscribe on Twitch at Team IYH. And remember to follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And leave a review and 5-star rating. We thank you for your continued support. It all helps for us to stay charted and continue to give you that work. Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back here to In Your House, the AEW Dynamite review show. We are moving, going, and rolling, and I'm loving it. The AEW Dynamite review show has actually been growing quite a bit, and we enjoy all the action in the chat that we got. And we've got quite a few Dynamite fans that follow us here at In Your House, and when we realized that, we knew it was time to pivot the content, and I think it's been a smart pivot. We've been watching the good, the bad, and the ugly of AEW, and from figuring out the good, the bad, and the ugly comes the loves and the lows. And that's become a staple here on the AEW Dynamite review show. Once again, to keep things balanced so we don't get too negative. We want to make sure we're finding the goods and the bad. So here we are now. We're going. We're going to start with the voice this week. Give me a love and give me a loathe.
I'm going to say what I'm loving about AEW this week is the fact they're taking big swings. They're trying things out. They're trying to figure out what works best. And we've seen it mostly with the commentary team, like we talked about.
Yep.
But we also seen it with the matchups and the storytelling. I mean, the biggest swing is you took the title off one of the biggest draws your company has ever made and put it on to another guy who he's definitely a pillar, but he doesn't have as much behind him as MJF fan
Hmm.
wise. It's just obvious. Um, but it's working. That's the thing. It's working for them. They took a swing. It's working. That's what I love. What I don't what I loathe is this booking. I talked about it in the chat. I would have put Lio Rush up against Will Ospreay. Why? Well, Will Ospreay's still coming back from something. He's still trying to get things going. Lio Rush is going to eat a loss. You're not going to have him win over Will Ospreay, at least not in that.
And the match would bang.
Lio, the match would bang, and Will Ospreay doesn't have to go above and beyond to take down a larger opponent. He's going to be able to handle Lio Rush in a different way. Maybe I'm wrong, but Mark Davis and Brody King, to me, Brody King winning that and him looking into the camera for his opportunity next week, that's a picture I like to see.
Mm.
That's a moment you didn't capitalize off of. That's a moment where the fan base goes, oh shit, Brody King means it. It is what it is. We had a solid match. We got enjoyment out of it, but I'm just saying the booking, I'm beginning to really loathe it. Like, do better. Do better.
Yeah.
You have the ability to make these so exciting without doing much. I just switched 2 matches.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it.
no. I got you. I feel what you're saying. I think there's a they are trying things, and I think that's important. They're not getting too formulaic because the flow of this week felt different than it has been for the last couple weeks for me. But let's give it to OG. Give me a love and give me a loathe.
Uh, the love for me and Mark Davis is definitely one. We've already talked about that, but yeah, I definitely love what he's doing, and hopefully they capitalize on it. But I will give some love to the fact that they did switch the titles to Darby, and I was not a fan of it. I'm still not 100% convinced that was the right move. But Tony Khan says he goes with his gut, so
Mm.
we'll see if his gut is right. You know, it's either going to be right or wrong. Uh, uh, but the match was good. I was entertained. A lot of that was due to Ciampa, to be honest with you. But I mean, Darby didn't perform bad. I mean, it was a heck of a match. I think that if Darby is going to be successful, I think the idea of an open challenge might be a good idea, especially if he's not going to hold the title for a long period of time.
For a long time, yeah.
Yeah, if it's going to be for a month, 2 months, I think that's probably the way to go. So that was my love. My love, I had a couple. I didn't like the way they brought Samoa Joe back. I mean, Samoa Joe's a legend,
Match. Yeah.
and he had a squash match. Okay, fine, but how did Chris Jericho come back? How did when Osprey came back? How did when Kenny Omega came back? I think that there should have been something done more than just a squash match with Samoa Joe. I think he means a lot more to that company than that. So I didn't like that at all. And then the other thing, real quick, the women's match, uh, it
Mm.
just yeah, it wasn't very good. And I've never been a big Mina fan. She did look good at times. I don't think she looks as good as physically. Don't want to put nobody down or
Yeah.
anything, but she is not in the shape she was a couple years ago, and there may be a reason for that.
Yeah.
But the match was off, and the women's division needs to rebound. They're hurting, of course. Missing, forgetting her name. I'm gonna call her Sasha, but that's not the right name. Mercedes.
Oh,
Monet.
Mercedes. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Mercedes Monet. They're also missing Tony Storm.
yeah. So, but Tekla is doing great work, but they've got to get her in a good feud or something
Yeah.
to build that women's division back up. But them were my two lows, and I didn't hate it. I hated the Samoa Joe thing more than anything.
Yeah.
Uh, I thought that could have been better done.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you on that. I mean, I'm gonna be echoing a lot of what you're saying, but I'm still gonna go through it because I just feel like I gotta say it. My loves and lows. Loves was honestly, maybe it was Champa, and that's all it was. But as somebody who's not a fan of Darby Allin, I love that main event. I was entertained. I had a blast. I love the crimson mask that Ciampa wore. I love the fact that they were telling the story that, hey, this is the Darby Allin character. You have to kill this man to stop him. There's a lore to it. I don't like Darby Allin, but just because I don't like it doesn't mean I can't get it. I have to take it and view it from the eyes of somebody that is liking what they're seeing, especially on a large scale. That he's got a large fan base, man, and that match was fun. I didn't put a whole lot of thought into, oh, I hate Darby Allin, fuck this guy. I was like, man, you know what? I just like wrestling. I just like wrestling. I just like when things get into the 11th hour. I just love it when somebody's wearing a crimson mask. I love it when a guy is launching himself at full speed at somebody else. I love the fact that there are so many false finishes. This one was fun for me. For a first title defense, which we're getting weekly AEW World Heavyweight Championship defenses against the top competitors, it makes sense to me because at first I was like, I put it there and I'm like, why are they doing this already? And I'm like, well, Darby Allin is going to want to fight right now. He's not going to want to wait. His character isn't going to want to wait to start defending the title. He's going to do it right now. Who's the top contender when you look at wins and losses? Tommaso Ciampa. He beat Tommaso Ciampa in an amazing match that I was entertained by and had a whole lot of fun watching. Who's next on that list? Who's the next contender? Brody King. It makes sense. It makes sense. So I love that. That once again, I'm enjoying the fact that we have things like Mark Davis. Mark Davis, once again, we don't have to go into the whole diatribe again about how great he's been, but he has been great. He's been entertaining. He's been there every single week, whether he's been winning or losing, and lately he's been winning. And I love the fact that they made him look strong by having him just decimate Will Ospreay the way that they did. It was good. It makes Mark Davis look strong. I think they need to keep going with him. And really, we got to start having conversations about, hey, he's probably going to be a guy who Darby Allin's going to have to see in the next couple of weeks because he's winning. It's like we talked about earlier. Don Callis saying he's one of the top 3 wrestlers in the company in the last few months. That's right. That's true. So guess what, Darby Allin? You got Mark Davis coming at you pretty soon. If we're following the logic of what we're doing here, you got him coming to you pretty soon. So there's a lot to it that I liked about this Dynamite. Once again, had fun. Kevin Knight is another thing that I like, that he's really holding down that mid card really well. So that was just I love the fact that he is a homegrown guy, that we're putting him in the mid card. We're gonna take a chance on him. Another love, and I'll say this every single week. No Speedball Bailey on my TV. I love it. Keep him off my TV. I don't want to see it. Let's keep it rolling. I love the fact MJF said, oh, you think it's socially acceptable to be friends with Speedball Bailey. It's not, okay? Stop being friends with him. Stop it, all right? Stop being friends with him. All right, so all right. I'll get to my lows. One of my lows here, you have a suffering women's division, and on a Dynamite that had potential to really go far, you didn't give us Willow Nightingale. You didn't give us Tekla. You gave us Hikaru Shida in Flatlander. Yeah, you're yawning, voice. There you go. That's how I feel when I see Flatlander show up on my screen. She bores me. She don't do anything for me. That match was bad. This women's division, once again, like Tony said, and he's 100% right, it's hurting bad. It needs a spark right now. And I just don't understand when you need that spark, you keep your 2 ladies who are holding that division on their back off of your Wednesday show. What are we doing? What are we doing? You could have had a TBS title defense and it would have been fine.
Yeah.
It would have been fine.
Again, it goes back to booking.
Yep. I just don't understand why you keep both of them off your show. Uh, the Jericho stuff, I just, what's the point? What are we doing? Like, I love the fact that the Hurt Syndicate is back. By the way, we didn't even talk about that. Hurt Syndicate's back, so I'm happy to see that. But what is this feud? He's the guy who gets beat up every week by the Demand, but yet he's standing there right next to the Demand in a promo, talking, not getting beat up.
Yeah.
What are we doing? This is ridiculous. I don't understand what we're doing. Like, I I I don't hate the Demand, and I like Jericho. I don't like this. This has no direction. There seems to be no point in where we're going with it. I I don't know. So that's just some things that I loathed. That was just some of my thoughts there. I don't know if there was anything that I said about some of those things that you guys had thought about or had thoughts about, because I know it was some stuff we didn't talk about, like the Jericho thing, kind of like that. I don't know if you guys had any thoughts on that.
I didn't mind the Jericho thing. I thought it was funny because we got to hear he trademarked it. But I do see it getting overused and kind of played out. But they're going with it because he trademarked it. So
Yeah.
it's going to keep happening, man.
Oh yeah, it's gonna keep for sure. I don't have a problem with that. That's not the thing I have an issue with. It just seems like this feud is on a train to Nowheresville.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, but I don't know. I don't think Jericho would co-sign on his comeback first feud to be going nowhere. I think they might have a play for it coming up, but I the biggest thing we're getting out of this is these guys on camera, the
Yeah.
Demand being there. So I'm okay with that until I'm not.
Yeah.
That's what I can say.
For sure, for sure. I got you. Hey, OG, real quick, I want to get some of your thoughts because we didn't talk about this either. Cope and Cage, apparently they want to do a New York street fight at Double or Nothing against FTR. One last shot for the tag team titles, and if they lose, they'll break up as a tag team. What do you think, OG?
Guys, it hurts me because I I don't want to say I don't care, but I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
being I'm just being honest.
I know. I'm with you.
I like Cope and I like Christian, but I just don't. Honestly, this is
Yeah.
my feeling. I'm gonna make some people mad, and I understand. He wanted to continue wrestling. I would assumed I would have rather Edge stayed and retired in WWE and been done. That's just my
No,
opinion.
no,
And,
no.
and
I'm with you. I think Cope's one of those guys that he needs somebody to tell him to stop.
well, we also got to look at the fact that he lost a lot of years.
He did.
Which,
He did.
so I guess he deserves a pass in that sense.
Yeah, I agree with that. I didn't even think about that. He did lose a lot of years. I still think about like him jumping off that cage and like completely shattering his ankle in that match on AEW that he had. And I'm just like, bro, I love you. And I spent so many years like, bro, I sat there in 2008 and watched one of my favorite matches I ever watched live at SummerSlam, and that was Edge versus Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell match at 2008 SummerSlam in Indianapolis. And I'm watching this guy jump off of a cage at his age and shatter his ankle, and I'm like, bro, come on, man, not like this. You could have had something like more doable in WWE, and like people would have respected you more. Like, you're not even Edge, bro. You're Adam Copeland. Like, come on, bro. Not like this.
Yeah,
Agree,
I agree.
man.
Voice, come on, man. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, I'm wearing a Copeland shirt. I do love, I love Edge,
I love
but
Edge, man. I love him. I
there's
love
a,
him. I swear he's one of one of the accumulation to my favorite wrestlers over the years.
uh, I mean, I love Brian Urlacher too, but I don't want to see him out there fucking brain dead trying to still tackle
No,
motherfuckers
bro.
for the Bears.
No,
So
no.
there are times when you got to just have that person next to you say, "Hey, this is it." And real quick, FTR is a tag team that you just, if you win, you go on. If you lose, you go on. You don't stick around with FTR. They get boring as fuck if you keep them in a fucking feud for too long.
Oh
Well,
yeah, and sometimes I don't think they know when to. I think like when I think FTR, they're the definition of on WWE 2K's My GM mode. Feud is stale.
Hmm.
They do this all the time.
Well, it's
honestly,
because
guys,
they overuse them.
honestly, I hate to say this because I love tag team wrestling. Tag team wrestling and pro wrestling altogether is kind of dead right now.
Yeah, I hate to hear that, but it's so true.
WWE's not doing much with it,
No, no.
and there's some good teams, but they don't do anything with it.
Dude, I don't know if you guys saw this. Like, Ric Flair, like, just fucking buried tag team wrestling. Like, he pretty much said, oh, well, I don't like to see Ashley, Charlotte Flair. I don't like to see her in a tag team. I want to see her in the main event doing main event things. And I'm like, but she's doing well in the tag team division. Like, you should be happy that she's happy doing what she's doing, not trying to force her back into the main event again. I'm like, bro, how could you just sit up there and just bury like, I know that wasn't his intent, but like, as a fan of tag team wrestling, I hated reading that because I was like, bro, you just like buried the tag team division, like, period. I hated that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe next time he goes at those retirement press conferences, Tony, you should tell him to shut up. He
Yeah,
also threatened Ludwig,
Oh,
so
I
that's
saw
and
that.
then cried, "Oh, that's why they banned me. They banned you because
They
you're no
didn't
fun
bring me to
anymore."
WrestleMania. Like, dude.
Oh, hey, let's hire another guy to be there to clean up after Ric Flair shits himself at the bar. Hey, yeah, that'll be fun.
Exactly. Come on, bro. Get out of here. Like, look within. Look
Yeah,
within. Do some inner. Some. All right. Yeah, all right.
yeah,
Anyway.
yeah. I know what you mean. He struck me on the wrong chord, and I'm a huge Flair fan, but
oh, I
uh,
am too.
Yeah, this
kind
guy.
of I'm kind of done with him after that interview. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, he's just. Whew, a lot could be unpacked about that guy. But let's bring this thing home so we can get OG to his next show because he does a lot of great work. Let's give some grade here to this episode of AEW Dynamite because I'm very interested to see what you guys got. OG, on a scale of 1 to 10 stars, what are you giving this episode of AEW Dynamite?
I'm gonna give it 7 3/4.
Okay. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. I like that. Voice, what do you think?
I'm right around where OG's at, and I was going 7.5. Looking forward, I'm pre-predicting next week will be an 8.5 to an 8.
I agree with that. I'm giving this a 7.5. Once again, they stumbled on a few things, like the women's division didn't really present it well, and they it was a lot of setup for next week, which like Voice just said, and I 100% agree. I think they set up next week to be a 8.5, even a possible 9 if things fall in their direction and the booking is good and the flow of the show is good and whatnot. But yeah, 7.5 for this one. Decent show. I had fun watching it. It was an easy watch. And they really did some good setup for next week. So we're going to keep going. AEW Dynamite is going to keep on rolling. I know they got Collision that is going down. And, if anything pops off of that, of course, you guys know we'll talk about it. But it's mainly Dynamite here. So let's go ahead and get this thing rolling and get out of here. Call this a really great episode. OG, of course, it's always a great time when we get a chance to chat some AEW with you, or even if you join us on a Sunday, always fun to talk with you, man. Where can they catch you and everything that you're doing?
Okay, well, 8 o'clock tonight, I'll be on with Face or Heel Pro Wrestling Talk with my guys, and then also 10 o'clock tonight we'll have Gonzo Sports Room. Definitely going to be talking about the NFL draft
Yes.
and all kinds of sports, but we're definitely going to hit on the NFL draft. One thing I did want to bring up real quick. I highly recommend. I know it's kind of controversial for some people, but I did watch the Hulk Hogan documentary,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought it was pretty well done. I thought it was well done. It wasn't one of those love pieces. Hey, let's make Hulk look great. It wasn't a Barry piece. The only person that got buried in that was for about 5 minutes was the Ultimate Warrior. Jesus Christ.
Oh man.
But they pretty slammed on him pretty good, but it was pretty interesting. I thought it was pretty. I thought it was well done. I thought it was fair. I thought they touched on a lot of things. It showed even in
Yeah.
his interview. It showed his ego. It showed his ego, the good part and the bad part. So I thought it was interesting. I thought it was a pretty easy watch. I think 4 or 5 episodes, about 4 hours.
Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Yeah, check out everything OG is doing. That man loves him some wrestling, and we love talking wrestling with him. And another guy I love talking wrestling with is my brother over here. That's the voice, Josh Joseph. Where can they catch you and everything you're doing?
All right, fans. So if you enjoyed what you've seen here, why don't you stop in next Thursday when we do the exact same thing. We have a lot of AEW Dynamite to talk about, and next week it'll be the exact same where we talk AEW Dynamite. Join me, OG Tony, and Howse around 6:30 on a Thursday. Yeah, we do it on a Thursday. Today's Thursday. And you can be a part of it, be in the chat, see what we did earlier in the episode. We're talking with everybody. We got everybody out there. And that's usually how our shows here at IYH go. Oh, there's more? Yeah, there's more. There's a Tuesday show in which we discuss Monday Night Raw. So it's the Tuesday night, Monday Night Raw review show. It's a fun show. It's me and Kevin Calloway, and well, he's the Chaos Goblin and our professional, and we talk. That's it, Monday Night Raw. That show definitely has a lot of you guys and a lot of your input on what we should be talking about, and we do. And like Ribshot said, we got some things happening, so you'll be scheduled. You'll be able to pop right on there, like a basic cable network. Hey, it's the IYH network. We also do a Wednesday show. It's a fun show, and it's an ECW show. It's where me and Howse, we watch ECW, and we are in the next chapter. So fans, strap in, get ready, and yeah, you can be a part of it. All you got to do is hit us up here at IYH and let us know some of the matches you might want to see. Me and Howse will take that under advisement. We'll come up with something, and we'll definitely bring it to you because it's the ECW show watch along on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. It's a fun show. Everybody come hang out with us. We get violent on that show. It's fun.
It is. Oh man, it's a great show. With accumulation of a lot of great shows that we are doing here at In Your House, and of course, we're always looking for that next big play. But there's always the work that is done here. We have our weekly shows here that we do on a regular basis, and like, guys, there's a lot of thought that's put into these shows, a lot of time put into these shows. We're looking to add some shows, move things around. It feels like a good time for a shake-up a little bit, to shake a few things up and mix some things up and try some things because I mean, we're still on the aftermath of the expo, and next year's coming up, so we want to make sure we're ready to go. And you know what? 2025 was just such a pivotal year for the content that we put together. And now here we are in 2026, full steam ahead, doing everything. Great team. We're adding great people to come in and co-host with us, like OG Tony, and we're networking with a lot of different people. So expect In Your House to always keep moving and grooving, and a lot of great people here on this team that are giving me their time, man, giving you their time. We appreciate you guys always. I know that the household appreciates you guys. It's all part of the work, and that's HOWSC, and the W stands for work. So for OG Tony Gonzalez from Gonzo Sports Room, Gonzo Wrestling Room, for the voice, Josh Joseph, and the whole team here at In Your House, I'm Walla Khan, the Con Man House, here to remind you to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.
Dynamite, 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 dynamite.